they had against Manchester United. I think the other test they would have is next week against Liverpool. Let's see how they fare against the Reds. But I was proven wrong. I felt it was going to be a draw. It had all the symptoms of being a draw.
Yeah.
I even understand that some of the Spurs fans have already started leaving the stadium, understandably, because it's very difficult to come from this unless something absolutely otherworldly happens, which is highly unlikely. So this is 3 in the bag.
Yep, it's still in the bag. So Arsenal's nice, good start to the season continues. All those people who doubted the process, you know, when first time Arteta said, this is the process, and everyone went like, oh, no. But the guy seems to have quietly putting together a team that they may not win the league, but they are going to be right up there and right there challenging all the way because so
Definitely.
far, so good. They've looked the part. They've been able to find ways to win games. And like you said, the test for United, they may have failed that one. This one, they have passed. So let's see what happens next weekend. It's 91-20. So yeah, in all of a few seconds, 1 minute, 30 seconds.
It's done,
to see that one is done. And then after that, we can turn our attention to what's happening tomorrow because it'll be live on NTV. And we'll have a whole build-up at the start. We will talk about it, prepare you guys, find out all little facts about London Marathon and what happens. Then let you watch the whole race, show you what's happening out in Eldoret because, look, that is the home of athletics. You know, that's where the conveyor belt is. That is where everyone starts. All starts in Eldoret. We'll catch up with Eldoret, see what's happening there, and make sure we package it, all of you together. Hopefully, at the end of it, by about 1 p.m., we'll be celebrating a Kenyan victory.
Hopefully. It's it's fascinating how we get conditioned when it happens. When it's usually marathon season, it's usually 1 week, there's this race, the following week, there's this race, the other week, there's this race. Even sometimes I would say, look, give us a break. Let's have 2 weeks, and then you have another race so that you can enjoy the victory that Kipchoge had. And actually, he's in the United Kingdom as well.
Yes, he is actually. There is the mini marathon, what they call the mini marathon, and it's today. It's on the first, and he's giving out medals in that one.
Yes.
I think London just wanted to have Eliud in whichever way.
Raises the profile of the.
Let's just have you. So you can't run. You're not coming to run here. You've won it the most number of times, but just come. So he's part of that race, and like you said. Remember, because of COVID, London was moved from
they changed the dates,
So this is the third and the final one.
It reverts back to April.
They go back to spring.
So,
so next year goes back to spring. It leaves this period just for Berlin, because normally Berlin in September, Chicago in October, and then New York in November. Yes, so next year it goes back, but before then there's...
And Kipchoge said that he wants to also compete in one of those 2 races. I think it's either New York or Boston. Which one do you think he'll actually compete in?
I think he was supposed to, in theory.
Yes, he was supposed to actually do New York. Yes, then he changed.
But I think he looked at it and he thought, let me push the world record a bit further. So he decided for me to push it further, I can't do that in New York.
He felt he was in good shape.
Yeah, let me go back to Berlin. Let me push my record further. Let me just put a bit of a gap between me and Kenenisa and company. So I'm not sure whether because the question is, what's to gain? Maybe just to get the medal, because you remember the World Marathon Majors has all those races. So he's done
the 6
Berlin,
races. Yeah, he's done
Berlin, he's done Chicago, he's done London. So it's to get the other 3.
He's done Tokyo.
He's done Tokyo.
Yeah, and he won it in early this
year. So the question is, does he go there? Remember, World Marathon Majors have made huge changes on their money, on the way the money is. It used to be $500,000. Now it's $50,000. So is it worth his hassle?
I think it's just for the prestige that he's actually won all these races and he's ticked those boxes. The other question that comes to my mind is the fact of age also should be considered.
I stopped worrying about Eliud and age when he went to Tokyo and he fist bumped people on their way to winning gold.
Yes.
Despite the pressure he was under. So I realized maybe this guy doesn't operate on normal people's rules.
I don't think so as well.
Now, then this year he went to Tokyo and he wanted to see. So let's see what he can do in a fast race. And he was comfortable and relaxed. Then he said, let me go break the world record. And when he's there, he decides, let's try run under 2 hours. So I don't think, if no one beats Father Time. No one beats Father Time. No one. No one has ever beaten Father Time. Whether you're Muhammad Ali or you're Michael Jordan or you're Usain Bolt. When Father Time comes, you've got to walk away.
You have to dance to it, yeah.
But I don't know something about Eliud that today if you told me Eliud will win Paris 2024, I can't discount it. I can't.
Now, there's an interesting quote here I've seen. This is somebody who's competed against him, and you know him very well, Kenenisa Bekele. Eliud is 37. Should be 37, 38.
Yes, 37.
Yes, he should be turning 38 in November. That's when he celebrates his birthday, I believe.
Yes.
Kenenisa Bekele is one of Eliud Kipchoge's biggest rivals. He says, quote unquote, I'm still the best. He's 40 years old. He's competing in London as well. So this is one of the athletes.
Well, he's on tomorrow.
Yes, he's in action as well. And I think it's a dig at Eliud. He's saying, you know what, I'm still the best, as much as you'll talk about all the performances that Eliud has been able to achieve. He's competed in X number of marathons. He holds the record, blah, 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 blah. But for me, I've dominated in 5,000, 10,000. I almost broke the record at one point.
Yes, 2 seconds short.
Yes, 2 seconds short.
Here's the thing. Kenenisa can't quite resonate or reconcile with the fact that Eliud is now the big man. Because on track, he was the big man. For many years, whenever Kenenisa stepped on track, everyone else knew I'm second.
Mm-hmm.
But now, when we talk marathon, we know who's the king.
He's the king. King Choge.
Is Eliud.
Yes.
Exactly. And Kenenisa just can't wrap his head around the fact that, you know what, I am not the main guy.
Mm-hmm.
I am not.
Mm-hmm.
He is. And he lacks I feel like he lacks the patience to understand a marathon, because Kenenisa was fantastic on the track. But in the marathon, he's not been able to run 2 good marathons back to back. He does a bad one, a good one, really, really good one,
yeah.
and then he drops out of the next one. Every single time. When he ran 2:01:41, when he ran 2:09:41,
41, yeah.
In Berlin, the following one in Dubai, he dropped out. He just can't seem to put it together. I think he struggles with the distance. Mm-hmm. He struggles with concentrating for that long, because the training for marathon is punishing.
It's terrible, yeah.
And it's mostly just you. I'll tell you what Haile Gebrselassie tells me all the time. He says, listen, marathon is about you and the distance. Not you and your competitor. It's just you.
It's a mental thing.
Distance.
You know, it's funny. In, I think, 2013, I was able to follow a marathon. It's not one of those major marathons. It was the Bamako Marathon in Mali.
Yes.
And let me tell you, I've never, ever, ever been in such a setting in my life, ever covering sporting events. It was a marathon. I do not understand why they put it in the afternoon. It was blazing hot. And I just tried to understand what goes on through the mind of an athlete. You've said, like, it's you and the marathon.
Yes, it's you and the distance.
It's you and the distance, exactly. How do you condition yourself mentally? You can train, everyone can train. But how are you able to have that mental fortitude to run 42 kilometers? Because your mind starts playing tricks on you.
Yes.
There's somebody who said that the mind is a very terrible master, but a good slave. So if you're able to master that mental strength and able to have that mental fortitude, I think you can do amazing things. I think that's the principle that Eliud lives by.
And it needs patience. It needs you to be patient. It needs you to be calm. It needs you to understand what is going to happen all the way to the end. Paula Radcliffe, she would run saying the name of her daughter,
Mm-hmm.
Isla, all the way. Catherine Dereba tells me she would sing. So she would go through a whole prayer session. So she would sing, she would intercede, she would pray, and then she would go back to singing. Mm-hmm. All that time. She's
just
like,
to cheat the mind.
Yeah, like she's like, that's what she would do. So she'd go on and she's singing. She'd go on and she's praying. She says it's her way of coping and make sure it goes. But I feel like Kenenisa just gets impatient. Kenenisa reminds me a bit of Vivian Cheruiyot. Mm-hmm. Wonderful athlete.
Yeah.
But the same thing, Vivian didn't quite have the same impact that she had on the track, because she, at times, you would feel like she's trying to force it. I feel like Kenenisa,
but she won London at one point. Yeah, she won London.
She won London, but same thing. Kenenisa has had your wins here, Chicago there, Berlin, but just not able to get it in sync. And Lorna Kiplagat says, marathon has also to accept you. It has to love you.
What does that mean?
Like you have to have a relationship with it. Mm-hmm. It's got to love you. You've got to love it.
Yeah.
And she didn't quite feel like she ever got it from the marathon. And because she says she enjoyed the half, but the full she never ever quite. I don't think Kenenisa has, but I think Kenenisa thinks, what do you mean I'm not the man?
I think he has something to prove. I think it's a self-esteem issue, specifically in the marathon, with the kind of inconsistent performances he's had. He has something to prove. Yeah, but London is not a joke.
Anyway, you know what? Let's come back and catch up with one of us who's out in Eldoret, and then we'll listen to who are the key guys we are watching out for tomorrow. There's quite a number of ladies. We'll find out how are they feeling, because our very own Ayumba Ayodi is out in the streets of London. He's there to make sure that you guys get it hot off the press.
Damn, Alex, you spazzing out.